this video is the second in this series. The first video is where our emotions come from. So if you haven't seen that, it would be a good idea to do so. And I want to use a real world example in this case. I'm going to use dating. And I'm going to have Jack and Jill be dating. And Jill is going to break up with Jack the same way 3 different times. And so we're going to make him a happy Jack, a neutral Jack, and a miserable Jack. So, happy Jack. He becomes aware that Jill says, Jack, this isn't working out for me and I'm going to break up. So he thinks, now remember this is 1/10 of a second, so we're really slowing this down. He thinks, oh, this is a good thing. We weren't really getting along and I wasn't really happy with her, but sometimes it takes a while to get to know a person and I didn't want to break her heart, but so this is awesome. And so he's like, oh yes, let's be friends. And he's out the door and maybe on his way to send Little Bo Peep a text message. Now, neutral Jack. So he becomes aware that Jill says, hey, Jack, this isn't working out for me, and I think it's best we break it off. And he's like, whoa, okay, well, all right. I know we weren't hitting it off that great, but, sometimes it takes time to get to know somebody. So he might even ask her, are you sure? She's like, yeah, Jack, let's not waste any more time. We're definitely not hitting it off. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to be all right. So one way or the other, whatever. Now, I had a girl one time tell me when I was explaining this that she said, absolutely no way. There is never a time when anybody is happy or calm about breaking up. And that's where she was dead set wrong. That was her beliefs, but in reality, there are many people who have happy divorce parties or happy breakup parties or a neutral. I've had couples come to me and say, hey, we want to divorce. We're not getting along, but we want to be good co-parents. And so we work on that. And so by the time that the divorce is final, they're good friends. Now, that's the more typical, when we think of a heartbreak, we think of, oh. So we're going to make this an unhappy Jack. We're making him a sad Jack first. So Jill says, Jack, this isn't working out for me. He says, oh my goodness, she can't leave me. I'll be alone, and that would be a horrible and terrible thing. That's just awful. She'll just ruin my life. I don't do this very well. My acting will definitely not get me an Oscar. But you get the idea. With thoughts like that, he's going to feel sad and depressed and probably a little anxious. Now, a side note, because when we come to negative, there are 3 categories of negative, along the lines of sad, along the lines of anger, and along the lines of nervous. If he were to do an angry Jack, he might think, oh, that no good dad burned rotten so-and-so. How dare she leave me? Now, your turn. Trying the ABCs on your own. You've watched the first video where emotions actually come from. You've seen a demonstration. So now it's your turn to start thinking about your thinking. So grab a piece of paper and write out the columns A, B, and C. And you're going to do this 3 times. You're going to have a happy time, a neutral time, and a negative time. And so just a note, because our brain is so very, very quick, it is often hard to go, what was going through my mind? So this might take a moment. One of the questions that I often tell clients is ask yourself, what am I acting as though I'm thinking? Thank you.